Some TV, the pulse of the nation. Some TV, the pulse of the nation.
Good evening and welcome to more issues of the moment on Some TV. My name is Abraham Minor Joda, and tonight we turn the spotlight on a subject that cuts across borders, cultures, and generations, that is human rights. They say film is a mirror of society, but it can also be a hammer to shape it. Through the lens of storytelling, injustice is exposed, voices long silenced are amplified, and humanity is reminded of its duty to itself. In the studio with us today, we have representatives of the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival, TARIF. Together we will explore how film can be used not just to entertain, but to challenge oppression and promote justice. And as the late Chief Gani Fayemi once said, the rights of man are the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace. Without them, humanity is doomed to oppression. So sit back as we dive into this combination of film and human rights, and how we're going to, our film, visuals is being used to promote human rights. We've made the studio for, I would have loved to use the word for gentlemen, but they are not gentle because we've been together for like 30 minutes. They round me around with jokes, and so they are not, they are gentlemen, but they are not gentle. You understand what I mean? So I'm going to introduce to you, they are lecturers, they are filmmakers, they are models, they are comedians, they are human rights activists. So, good evening, young men or women.
Good evening, sir.
You are welcome to Some TV.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now we've been talking about human rights, but do you know that you've been trying to oppress me with your size? This is not a form of my right has been impeded, or with the way the four FT men in the studio. I asked for gender equality. You couldn't even bring a beautiful lady with you. Yeah?
As we said earlier, Adam came in before Eve. So, peradventure, the female gender will be here.
Okay, thank you very much. You're welcome to Some TV, and you're welcome to Issues of the Moment. Well, I will allow you to do the introductions yourself, and it's obvious. Well, by the time they do the introduction, you know the reason why I would prefer them to do the introductions. So let me start with someone who we know on this platform. He has been here not once, not twice. So I know his name, I know everything, but let him do the introductions himself.
Yes, welcome viewers. I am Moses Samuel, Festival Director, TARIF. You're welcome.
Okay, let's go to...
Hi viewers, my name is Ayo Donald Love. I'm a filmmaker and a lecturer.
Okay.
Hi viewers, I'm Taking Biteri is my name. I'm a filmmaker and also a facilitator.
Okay, thank you.
Hi viewers, good evening. My name is Nanmo Alexis Daddy, all the way from Jos City, Plateau State. I am the brand designer and art director for this project called TARIF.
Wonderful. Now, you know, there's something with movies or film. It makes, it brings to life imaginations. It brings to life things that even things that are beyond some of our imagination. And you know, in the past, human rights used to be fought by people very serious. The late Chief Gani Fayemi, and the late Fela Kuti, and the rest of them. I think one of the first person that tried to create entertainment out of fighting for human rights was Fela Kuti.
Yes.
But now you brought, you are using entertainment, visuals, to promote human rights. So I'm going to let you take it step by step. How have you been able to put together this platform that makes human rights easy to the eye? Who should I start with?
Okay. So like you rightly said, human right is fundamental and human right is global. But the mistake people always make is when you talk about human right, all they think is about protest. And not just protesting against the government. Human right is not about the government. Every human being, the president has a right. The governors have the right. Everybody has a right. So we are bringing it through films. We're trying to use films because we know that's one of the most powerful tools. We are where we are today. We are what we are today because of the mentality that we have. So we discovered that the most powerful weapon to use is films. To change the mindset, to define human rights using visual and audio. So we set up this platform to bring voices together across the world. Fortunately, we were able to have films from like 150 countries. So we have 1,531 movies that talk about human rights from different perspectives and from different countries. Then not just human rights, we also look at indigenous creativity. Because that's one way in which we can actually project indigenous voices. So we have films from all over the world. For example, one of the films that we screened was Natal was from Indonesia. And because of that film, we were able to attract the representative from the Indonesian embassy. We have the consular minister of social culture. And when they came in, they were so excited. They were like, wow, they want to see the culture of Taraba State. So that's a way in which we promote human rights by making it it's a global thing. Everywhere human beings are, there's an issue pertaining to human rights. And we also discovered that the level of development of a nation or a community is determined by how they treat the people in the communities. We discovered that the countries and the communities that value humans seem to be the more advanced countries. For example, as we always said, if you touch an American, you know that yes, you touch a human. But in our own African countries, we can kill. In fact, during the Rwanda war, civil war, how many people died within how many months?
In just a few days, with machetes, they were able to kill about 200,000 people. In a few days, just with cutlass.
So that's why we're trying to use cinema. And most of the abuses, most of the things that we learn actually come from films. From stories we hear from our past and from things we watch. So also to correct it, to get it right, we also have to use the same weapon and the same idiom.
Thank you very much. You said something that just hit me now. Most of the things we learned is from the movies. This mentality that you blood money. You know, the movies promoted it. Now, today, if you ask a lot of people, we used to watch movies when we were young, a projection of the Vietnam War, whereby you see 2 American soldiers take over 10,000 Vietnamese soldiers.
Yes.
And we thought Americans were supermen. Yes. Until I grew up and I read the story of the Vietnam War, I saw that the film was just make-believe.
Exactly.
It was just
the narrative from the particular
Yes.
perspective.
And you will see that some countries have been able to project themselves positively with films to the point that if you're a visitor, you go there, you say, this is a country that doesn't tolerate this, and you maintain your stand. Now, Mr. Nyam, as a filmmaker, how have you been able, or how have filmmakers been able to use films to promote human rights in Nigeria? Because it seems we mostly use films to promote vices in Nigeria, not. So how have you been able to balance it? Because you want to sell.
Yes. Okay. Let me not go too far. Let me use during the film festival.
Yes.
We did a short film after the second day of the master classes and all. We shot a film, a very, very short film, just like 2-3 minutes. Now, reasons for the very concept we did is, like he talked about, we use film to paint either good or bad story. Now, the lead character, we brought a guy, he has dread. Now, people feel that if you see, like you have a gentle face now, and they say this one is a gentle guy, and the ones with the dread are the bad guys. Now, the short film we did, I try to change the narrative. That is not all the people you see on the street, those with the dread and whatever, and beards and all that are the bad guys. Okay, so I made the guy with very, very long dread as the good guy, advising his friend. Now, those that are with low cut like me are the bad boys. Do you understand? Now, the one with the dread, now I was not advising the other one that you don't need to join any bad gangs and all that. So it's still in line with just, it's all about changing the narrative. So we use that avenue to let people know that this, you see, is a make-believe.
Yeah.
So once you start using this avenue to like make you understand, like if you talk about those fraudsters, for example, now police harass those mostly, or they see you with bands, or you're putting on, or you're sagging, or whatever. Now I can put on my suit and with clean shave and all that, and I'm doing the whole thing, and they will allow you, you will pass.
Yes.
You get, so it's not all about, so you need to go deeper. It's very, very, very deep and broad. So now we're using this film festival. This is the first phase of it. Gradually, people we get to understand the other side of it.
Okay, I think that's good. You pointed towards the direction of the way we stigmatize people simply of the way they dress. Do you know that's a form of abuse too?
Yes, yeah, human right.
When we all do it when we want to discuss, maybe in a religious gathering, maybe in family gathering, we'll talk about, you say all these bad boys with dreads, with this, with that. And then even if we want to project anything, we project them. When we want to tell people about how bad people look, we'll tell them that they wear earrings, they have dreads, they have this, they keep beards, stuff like that. It's a form of human rights abuse, if you ask me. Yeah. Now, let me go to another filmmaker. That is Mr. Ayo Donald Love.
Yes, sir.
I like that name.
Thank you very much.
How did you get that name? You're Nigerian, or are you a Jamaican?
Well, I'm a mixture of Delta and Ekiti State. Okay, and I grew up at Ajaokuta. So, you know, they were Russians then, those days, so that's how the name came to be.
Okay, well, Ekiti and Delta.
Sorry, don't say they are stubborn.
Please hold on. I'm looking at what they call Delta Stronghead with Ekiti and Ogun. Well, let's listen to you. So how have you been using film to project not only human rights, positivity in society?
Okay, now let's look at it psychologically. It's known that what you see sticks than what you hear. Now let's go back to, it is known that New York Police, NYPD, is the best in the whole world. How? Through visuals.
Yes.
Right? Go back to the days in Nigeria here, Aki and Popo. There were a lot of emulations, filmmaking. Now, every of those things, if you are just little example now, they were things that stuck to the brain. Now, how do we use film? Human rights is something that we don't dare touch a lot, especially in this part of this country. So we tell stories, the untold stories of Africans, the untold stories of Nigerians. We can tell it through human rights, through visuals. By bringing up, for instance, I won't want to call any part, but it is known in Niger Delta, anywhere you go now, they believe, in Niger Delta, there's a lot of militancy there. I remember when I went to Chibok to shoot the documentary on Chibok girls, I felt that when I get to Chibok, I won't see one old man being there.
Yeah.
When I told a couple of my people then that, oh, I'm going to Taraba State, man, what are you going to do in that place? That is what they paint this stuff as. But we can use film as a tool of enlightening people. Places like this are peaceful. Places like this, they are stuff in which when you see, you know that everyone here, they are living in peace. Sorry for the last example. On the plateau where I schooled, okay, my mom would call me sometime. Love, I heard that they killed so people somewhere. So I would not be. Where did this happen?
Yes. Yeah.
Where did it happen? But it is the work of the visuals. We can only paint something, and immediately people see that thing. This is what happened. Somebody can just attach any picture to this image, and say, "This is what happened," and it stuck to somebody's brain. How Plateau they killed. This happens there, so.
You're right. You're right. Let me just tell you a story. I remember some years back, I used to live in a part of Lagos State called Igondo. We woke up in the morning and we saw a plane in a filling station, and the whole area went gaga. This is a plane crash. This is this. This is that. And in the next few minutes, I was seeing it on TV. Plane crash and video, pictures and videos of the plane was there. I picked my kids. Everybody was scrambling, running. It may explode. It was later we got to find out that they were towing the plane from the airport. There's a place they keep the abandoned planes at Badagry. So along the way, the tires had problems. So they had to tow it into. But the stories went far. People started calling me. I said, it's not a plane. Someone called and said he saw it. He watched the video. I said, I'm there. You can wait. I will go do a film of myself close to me. So you understand? And I'm very sure someone who didn't see the backup stories today have a picture of plane crash.
At that point.
Now, let me go back to when you spoke about NYPD and the rest of it, the way we think they are the best in the world. I've been running away from your name, Namwa Alexis Daddy. Let me just say, Mr. Daddy. You're a brand designer, and you do that. Now, how are we going to rebrand this? Our film industry portrays Nigeria as a dirty money country. As all Yahoo or richer money. As a brand designer, how are you going to rebrand Nigeria in such a way that we begin to see positivity in it? Because what you've done with Tariff now is to rebrand filmmaking. So let me just listen to you. And please call your name again.
So my name is Nan Moa.
Okay.
Yes, it means God has provided.
Wow, I love that. Nan Moa.
Nan Moa. Okay, so Nan Moa Alexis Daddy. That question is amazing. You see, there was something that he said in his submission when you asked him a question, and that's about storytelling. One of the issues I've noticed over the years is something I tag identity crisis. And it's an African problem, not just Nigerian problem. And because we have an identity crisis, we are trying to, there's a little bit of awareness, right? But it's not a full-scale awareness for everyone. You know, it's just coming up in bits and bits and bits and bits. So the first thing that we should address is, what kind of brand are we? I've had the opportunity to travel outside, and I will tell you that our beggars in Nigeria are better than the beggars outside.
Yeah.
We just look at them as beggars, right? But it's the ideology behind it. But when you come on TV and screen, you don't ever see the beggar part of America.
Yes.
You don't see their slums. If not for a movie like Coming to America, you would not have believed that there are slums in America. They don't portray those places.
And they even portray it as if the slum is a good place
It's a
to
good
live.
place to live. When you go to Dubai, you don't know that there are slums, but there are actually slums even in that Dubai. The Dubai of, majesty and all of that. So the first thing that we should address is what kind of awareness can we give about the brand? How do we treat Nigeria as a brand that needs to be rebranded? Then we begin to work on the mind of people to let people understand what are the elements that make Nigeria what she is. And you notice that the tradition from old to where we are now is that a lot of people did not ask the right questions.
Yes.
And so our parents kept telling, me I'm from the North Central. So someone from the Igbo extra would tell them that, people from, those Malas from the North, don't trust them. Someone from the North will say, Yemri, don't trust Yemri. Someone from Yoruba extra will say, don't trust this person. You will tell that to your children. Your children grow up with that mentality. I like what he said. When you go to Chibok now, you think that there's no one living with you. They've killed everybody. But there are people living in that place. Some of them are even trying to move along with the trauma of what has happened in the past. Just like some of us in Plateau State. It's like we get used to the gunshot and to the bomb, so we are not so agitated anymore. Something happens, everybody moves on. So the first thing we should do is addressing it as a brand. Human rights as a brand, as a product. I like, for those people that did not come, there's something that TK Esquire said. He said, there's a limit to where your right starts and stops. I am free to swing my hand. But now there's a problem when I swing my hand and I hit my neighbor. Now I've oppressed his whole right. You understand? And that is where it is.
Yeah.
So Nigeria needs to wake up to understand where our rights start and where they stop. Unfortunately, it's so bad that the whole country and the whole structure intimidates your rights. There's something my brother said. It's like when you try to stand as a fighter, or you try to stand as an ambassador or an advocate for human rights, you become a target for so many factions.
Yeah.
People don't like the truth. So when you're trying to reveal the truth to people, you become an object of enmity. Everybody, even from your own house, will hate you. You're trying to become a saint, you're trying to become this and that. So there's a lot of interwoven anti-rights now into so many areas of life. In our politics is there, in our religion is there. So a Christian will wake up and tell his children that a Muslim is this and that. A Muslim will tell his own child that the Christians are this and that. The pagans will tell his own children that these ones are this and that. So you see, the cycle keeps going. So one of the ways that tariff can come in, or tariff is coming in, is to rebrand the project, to rebrand our mindset. And so it's not even just a Taraba thing. We're believing that this project will outshine Taraba and become a federation thing and a global thing. And people really understand that everybody sits down with their phone these days. Yeah. So you might not necessarily come and meet people on the outside and say, let's go and fight for peace and fight for justice. Now in your hand, we can reach that message to you. People watch a lot of skits these days. Like we listen more to our comedians than even our politicians.
We do, yes.
We do. Right? So we can use those methodology too, through filmmaking, through skit making and all of that media, and say, look, these are what our rights are. And you need to know the rights. We're hoping that this project will also be an advocacy that will even enter into primary schools. Children can be taught basic right advocacy. So it starts from there. So first of all, it's just to rebrand that whole structure. If you begin to understand what and know what your rights are, it makes it easier for you to get the awareness.
Thank you very much.
And just like you said, I would like to emphasize again that when we talk about the right, it's not answer anybody. Human right is not against the government.
Yeah.
It's not. Human right is for everyone's benefit.
Yes.
It benefits everybody. So the politicians don't supposed to be afraid of human rights when we say human rights. The market people, the business people don't supposed to be afraid when we say human rights. If we learn how to treat each other right, we'll have a better society.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So that's
Yes. It seems if you look at us culturally, we run a kind of system that don't allow you to ask a question. And the moment you ask a question, you're a barrier. You're seen as someone that wants to overthrow the system.
Like a
and you know we don't like systems changing here. We want it very rigid. So I met it like this. My forefathers were doing it like this. And that is the way.
Rigid ideology.
And at the end of it, what happens to rigidity? Death.
Yes.
That is why most of our cultures died along there, because they became so rigid and then allowing fresh ideas. Now, you've come to Taraba, and I know a lot of work Mr. Moses has done over the months. What are the takeaway from this program in Taraba? Have you what are the areas we've been able to explore? Are the connections we've made, and how the government, the CSOs, how have they supported you in this? Because it's something that we need to learn. If what you've learned in Taraba and what you've been able to achieve with Tarif in Taraba.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful adventure actually. Yes, from the government, I think we should give them credit for giving us an environment, enabling environment to operate. We operate freely, and we're able to accomplish it.
You should operate freely.
Exactly.
You should.
So
Right.
that's also portrayed exactly. That also shows that in this aspect, the human right is being honored in Taraba State. So they understand the value of human rights. But in terms of any other support or logistics, there's none for now. So hopefully, as the result of this, seeing the outcome from this, next time they will come in and work together. Also for the civil rights organizations in Taraba, we actually reach out to the National Human Rights Commissions, and I believe most of them they work together with them. And NAPTIP, it's a new thing to everybody. So I also believe that they have not fully grabbed the vision. So we believe that it's going to get better. But we seem to have more of international connections and international networking. Yes, as I said, we have interest from 150-something countries. So the positive thing from this is that we're able to project Taraba to the world. One of the filmmakers from Algeria that actually sent her entry, she's sending a video. The way she speaks in Arabic, the way she pronounced Taraba is as if she was the one that actually named the state. So we're able to have countries around the world for the first time know Taraba. And for the first time, as I said, we brought representatives from the Indonesian embassy to Taraba. And they choose to use the road. They travel for 11 hours to come here. I'm part of Tarif. And they were very, very excited about it. And we have a lot of people all over the world. We have people calling us from the US, people from India. And by the grace of God, next year is going to get bigger and better. And one of the positives to me also is the fact that we're able to inspire a lot of young people. We're able to inspire a lot of young people, and they were imparted. And we look forward to even giving them more. We're able to create network for them. Some of them actually anchor some of our podcast section with those outside the country. And we're also able to connect some people to businesses outside the country. And then we also reach out to the orphanages. We're able to touch their lives. And we're also able to also reach out to primary secondary school, because we have a cultural dance and drama competition, and Sun TV was there to cover. We have one in Ukari, and then we have one in Jalingo here in partnership with Taraba State University. So we start very, very well, and it's been a great experience. I have some of my people